Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. Really appreciate you being here. We're going to be talking about the southern border. As you can see here on your screen, this is the Texas National Guard setting up more razor wire at the border. Okay, and we've got some reports coming out here that former FBI officials have sent a letter to Congress to warn them about a new and imminent danger for the U.S. at the southern border, and they've been suggesting that the country's been invaded by military age foreign nationals. Now, I've been reporting on this for quite a while now. I've been letting you know that there is a lot of people that are potential terrorists coming in. I've shown footage and of things of that nature to show that there's many people coming in here that are not vetted. We have no idea where they come from, and many of these people could be coming in and want to do harm to the U.S. and to citizens of the U.S. So it is very dangerous. It is very scary what's happening, and these people should not be coming in, but the Biden administration is allowing them to come in. So right now, the Texas National Guard, as you can see here, they're setting up razor wire. They're doing whatever they can to fortify the border to stop these illegal migrants from coming into the country, because many of them who are being apprehended are on the terrorist watch list. They're potential people that want to do harm to this nation. So I want to show you a video just real quick. This is from Fox News, and they're basically talking here. This is the National Border Patrol President Brandon Judd, and he's on Fox News talking about how dangerous it is that our border's wide open and that we have a new and imminent threat at the border. So go ahead and take a look at this, and then we'll talk about it.
Illegal border crossings hitting another all-time high, surpassing 300,000 in December alone. Now, former FBI officials are sounding the alarm on a new national security threat, as 50 on the terror watch list were already caught this fiscal year. In a letter to Congress, those officials warning, quote, the United States is facing a new and imminent danger, adding in its modern history, the U.S. has never suffered an invasion of the homeland, and yet one is unfolding now. Here to react, National Border Patrol President Brandon Judd. Brandon, great to see you. I got to tell you, when I saw this letter, I was shocked, not at the acknowledgement, not at the reality, but at the acknowledgement of the reality. I know the numbers of the terrorist watch list. I know what's going on. But I guess I was surprised that former FBI officials would be willing to put this out like this, because it was more than a warning. I feel like it was an indictment of this administration.
Yeah, it's not an if, it's a when. We know something bad is going to happen, and you have to look at the reason why. When you look at the number of people that we apprehended, 302,000 people, that means we released a minimum of 280,000 of those individuals. We only held into custody about 20,000 for repatriation. So when you look at that, when you look at the sheer mass crush of people that are crossing our borders illegally, what that means is we just don't have agents in the field to patrol the border. That's when the cartels can cross our higher value products, including people from countries that want to do us harm. Everybody wants to characterize this as a race issue. They want to say, well, this is just poor brown people coming from Mexico or Central America, and that's just not true. We apprehend people from Eastern Europe all the time. We apprehend people that are whiter than I am all the time. We apprehend people from the Middle East. We apprehend people from around the world. This is not a race issue. It's all about the protection of the American people. And until we wake up and realize that, we're going to continue to deal with this, and what's going to happen is going to be bigger than what it needs to be. We've got to get this under control today, and we can do it if this administration would simply give us the policies that are necessary.
Okay, so there you go. Pretty nuts, right? I mean, he said right there, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I thought it was interesting that he mentioned there that it's not just, people from Mexico or from South America, it's people from all over the world. It's people from the Middle East. It's people from, there's people coming in from Russia and all over the place. So it's not just a matter of race. It's a matter of, it's people from everywhere, and many of these people coming in, they really could be terrorists, and that is a great concern there. So let's talk about this some more. I've got an article here up as well that kind of goes into detail more about this whole situation here. So, ex FBI officials warn Congress of new and imminent border danger. The country has been invaded. There were over 300,000 encounters at the border in December. Can you believe that? 300,000 people coming in 1 month. That's crazy. That's the amount of some like, major cities, the amount of people. Like, imagine an entire city of people coming in at once in 1 month. That's insane. A coalition of former FBI officials has issued a warning about a new and imminent danger for the U.S. at the southern border, suggesting the country's been invaded by military-aged foreign nationals. Wow. In a letter sent last week to congressional leaders in the House and Senate, the retired officials expressed our concern about a current specific threat that may be one of the most pernicious ever to menace the United States. The letter warns the United States is facing a new and imminent danger and highlights what the officials say is a threat of an invasion at the southern border, where there were over 302,000 migrant encounters in December, after a record fiscal 2023 in which there were 2.4 million migrant encounters. Crazy, 2 million people in 1 year. Wow. In its modern history, the U.S. has never suffered an invasion of the homeland, and yet one is unfolding now, they say. Military-aged men from across the globe, many from countries or regions not friendly to the United States, are landing in waves on our soil by the thousands, not by splashing ashore from a ship or parachuting from a plane, but rather by foot across a border that has been acutely advertised around the world as largely unprotected with ready access granted. Okay? So what I'm wondering here is how a lot of these people are getting down to Mexico and then crossing in. Like, this has to be some sort of coordinated operation here, where people are getting trafficked from other countries to Mexico. Because if this is not just people coming from South America and Mexico, then how are they getting here? How are they getting to the border? So it's very concerning, and obviously the border has been open for the last several years, and it's very scary to think how many people could be coming in that want to do harm here. And these ex FBI officials, they've got a point here, and I'm sure all of you, comment down below how you feel about this, but I'm sure most of you watching this are probably been just as concerned about that from day one, from the minute we opened the borders and started letting people in. Of course, there's going to be people coming in that want to do harm. They're not all going to be asylum seekers and people that that just want to seek a better life, which I don't blame them for wanting to do that. But at the same time, it's dangerous to have our borders open, and as Donald Trump, former president, has said many times, if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. So if you agree with that, comment down below. Let me know what you think. They also note numbers of gotaways, which are estimated to have exceeded 800,000 last fiscal year, and encounters of those on the FBI terrorist watch list. FBI Director Christopher Wray has also expressed concern about who is evading Border Patrol. So obviously that's another concern too, right? There's a lot of people that are probably getting in that are not even coming in contact with Border Patrol. They just sneak in, they find a way in, and they don't even come in contact with anybody, and they just make it into the country. So like these gotaways, there's going to be lots of cases where that happens, right? The former officials expressed concern, particularly in light of the October 7 Hamas attack on Israel. So I talked about that a lot too, that's a very big possibility that something like that could happen. The October 7 massacre of Hamas invading Israel and attacking and just committing bloodshed on the people of Israel. It was a very horrible attack, and something like that could definitely happen here. And that's why I warn everybody to, watch your back when you're out in public. Pay attention to your surroundings. Utilize situational awareness. And if you can, carry a self-defense tool with you also. So that way, if something happens, you can defend yourself or defend your family. because we're at a very dangerous point here in our country because our border is just wide open, and many of these people coming in could want to do harm. So it is stark to say so, but having a large number of young males now within our borders who could begin attacking gatherings of unarmed citizens in imitation of October 7th and at the behest of a foreign terror group must be considered a distinct possibility. Yeah, I would agree with that. We would be remiss to not call out this potentially grave threat in the most direct terms. The warning lights are blinking. The warning lights are blinking, my friends. Look at that. That's very scary. So I guess uh, this is the letter that was sent to Congress. We're not really going to go over that. We'll just kind of continue on here with this. But if you want to go check it out, you can probably find it online. They warned that some of the men arriving to the border are from terror-linked areas as well as geopolitical foes like China and Russia. I have seen a lot of footage as well of just lines and lines of what would be considered military-aged men that are many of them look like Chinese nationals. So how are they getting here too? I wonder, like, the countries that are really really far away from here, how are they getting here? They've got to be getting help from someone or some organization or country or something to get over here, right? Like they can't just be walking over here. So that's a long way away for them to get over here, and it's crazy that's happening. For these reasons, elements of this recent surge are likely no accident or coincidence. These men are potential operators in what appears to be an accelerated and strategic penetration, a soft invasion, designed to gain internal access to a country that cannot be invaded militarily in order to inflict catastrophic damage if and when enemies deem it necessary. So what they're talking about there is basically like sleeper cells, right? So sleeper cells are like kind of undercover operatives that sneak into a country, or by evading law enforcement, and they stay on the low, and they wait for orders to attack or something like that. And once the orders are given, they attack inside the country. And obviously the United States would be very hard to attack militarily, and majority of the United States is armed. We've got, I think, at least like 200 million roughly people that are armed in the United States. So it would be very hard for an invasion to happen in our country. But if they were to, commit terror attacks inside, that could definitely destabilize America, right? And that's the risk here that we're taking by having the border open, and the imminent threat and danger that these ex-FBI officials are talking about. They encourage Congress and other federal leaders to take action and pay more attention to the threat. The country's been invaded. Invasion will continue as long as the nation's enemies perceive it will be tolerated. So there you go. I mean, this is definitely not good. This is not good news. Very dangerous news, and I think it's pretty obvious to most people what's happening here and what's been going on. But I just want to report the latest to you here, and just understand that this is a big deal. Okay, so real quick, we'll just kind of go over this as well. Migrant crisis broke new record in December with 302,000 encounters. It marks the highest month ever recorded for migrant encounters. So again, December was one of the largest amounts of people coming in at once in 1 month. And I think a lot of this has to do with, because this year, I think we might start to really see the border shut down more, because now we've got the Texas National Guard down there because of Governor Abbott deploying them, and they're defying, the Biden administration's orders to remove the razor wire. They're continuing to put up more razor wire. As you can see here, they continue putting up that razor wire, and they're shutting down that border as best as they can and trying to keep migrants from coming out. So yeah, it's just absolutely nuts, guys. I can't believe like what's happening here. And here's another article real quick. Yeah, Border Patrol has no plans to remove the razor wire, just as I was talking about, that was set up by Texas amid feud with the Biden administration. So Texas and the federal government are battling over border security. So it is definitely a big deal what's going on down there right now. There's an ongoing battle between Texas and the federal government, and they're really just trying to protect their state and their country. And the Biden administration is kind of doing the opposite, right? They want to remove the razor wire and continue to allow this to happen. But Texas National Guard is down there and saying, "Hey, that's it. We're not putting up with this no more. We're taking over." I also heard some unconfirmed reports that there might be like a large convoy of trucks, like semi trucks and just a convoy of people, like 700,000 people, heading down to the border to help out. I know a lot of other states are helping out as well. Their governors are sending, their own National Guard and law enforcement to go down there and help out and secure that border. So this is a big deal what's going on down here right now, and it's not being talked about much. There's just so many other things happening, but this is a really big deal what's happening down here, guys. So I just wanted to fill you in on the latest of what's happening, what's going on down at the southern border. But yeah, definitely, stay on your tippy toes here, and keep your head up when you're walking around. Don't be staring at your phone all the time, because anything can happen at any moment. And like these ex FBI officials are warning, we are at a great risk of an imminent danger and threat, okay, in this country. And just be ready for it. Watch out, take care of your family and your friends, and just make sure, if you can, again, carry a self-defense tool to protect yourself if you're able to, and legally do it legally. So I appreciate you guys watching. That's going to be the latest here. If anything else comes out, I will update you as soon as I possibly can. But thank you again for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoy, please like the video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well. YouTube will notify you as soon as more videos go live, and we do put out several updates a day. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great day. Take care, and God bless.